deliver us from Hillvale.
Hey there.
Greetings, Guardian Witcher. Thanks to you, my little enterprise is in ruddy health.
Can't really see that anything's changed.
All in due time. At the moment, I'm perusing my options. Asking after prices, verifying quality. You know, it's very easy to squander coin. But rest assured, I will spend mine very wisely.
My. If you're like this now, who'll you be when you're older?
A very rich man.
Get many customers?
Droves and loads. Though I expect to have more. My trade always booms when the tourneys are on.
Knights' boots get dirtier then?
It's not just the boots. When they fight, they soil all. I shine their armor, helmets, belts, sheaths. They like them shiny as a dog's danglers. Oh, pardon.
You're pretty chatty. Nosy.
I would say inquisitive and sociable. Besides, a good tradesman ought to amuse his clients with small talk.
Fair enough. Must know a lot about the folk of Beauclair.
All about all, meaning everything about everyone. I know who slept with who, and who wishes they had. I know who's friends, and who'd slit each other's throats.
Potentially dangerous, that kind of knowledge.
Bah. But I'm known to keep my tongue tight, my mouth sealed tight. Why, if I blabbed what I hear, they'd have done me in long past. As it is, all that's said on my stand stays on my stand.
Take care now.
Come early, come often. I'll perfect your look, and not only yours, but every man's woman's child's.
Come on.
We should be right around here.
Who's next?
Ah!
Oh!
Double chase.
Really rich. Runs through the town. Upstairs and downstairs in his nightgown.
Oh
You've
no.
to move your little camp elsewhere, got it? This is a decent district. We need no filth folk bugging about.
Gent,
What happened to
there's
her?
no need to raise your voices. Let's keep our calm.
Our calm is exactly what you disturb. Your vagrants bring pestilence, take work from honest folk, and sponge off ducal relief.
My folk do not harm his soul. And they've nowhere else to go.
We don't give a flying fart.
You? What do you want?
To talk.
Here, that's a waste of breath. We've tried it, only to tire our lips. We'll use other means of persuasion now.
Gentlemen, calm, please.
Either get out along with these flea-ridden vagabonds, or we'll toss you all out. Our patience is gone. This place is no longer a rank refuse dump.
Scram! Decent folk live here.
The shelter, them living here, bothers you. Question is why?
Look, Ballard. Another defender of the poor, fighter for justice.
Damn nuisance. We've our women and young folk living next door, when even grown men fear to walk past such rabble.
Decent folk you mention. Mean yourselves?
Why? Do you doubt it?
Hell yes.
Hear that, Artois? He poking insults us. On our own turf.
We should step aside, good fellow. My friend is perfectly capable of settling this unfortunate dispute on his own.
I almost dumped my guns in fear.
can take a hint. Come, time to go.
I thank you so much for your aid. I tried to reason with them, but they'd have beat me blue had you not come along. I'm grateful. Immensely.
What did they want from you?
They are neighbors. Wish me to take my folk, the shelter, elsewhere. They dislike that I help the beggars. I do not oppose going elsewhere, were we to have somewhere to go. But you've come with a problem, have you? My turn to aid you.
What is this place? Poorhouse?
You could call it that. They come here to rest and eat a hot meal.
You help them, why?
Because they need help.
Need some information. Looking for a man who might have mentioned the boot black in Rue de Garl.
The boot black. A feisty lad. I know him.
Any of your, wards supposed to meet him recently or soon?
Forgive me. Those I help and I are not so close that I would know. But should you wait, they'll all soon come for their meal. You can question them yourselves.
Sure all your usual beggars will be here?
They're not obliged to come, of course. But they rarely find a decent meal elsewhere. So, almost all in the area eat here.
Thanks. We'll wait. Nice of you to let us.
My dears, I've a matter to address before I serve the soup. These two gentlemen have some questions of you. Pay attention. Answer in brief. For if you draw it out, your soup will go cold. And we wouldn't want that, would we?
Recently, 4 of you delivered sealed letters to the boot black. I know this.
Does anyone know what the gentleman means? Go on, speak up. Romain?
Why should I squeal? We were all told not to mention the letters. We all swore.
You can tell me, Romain. You were given a letter and you delivered it, right? Good work, Romain. Thank you. Who else?
I got one too. Gave it to the boot black. And Freshy, he got one. But he can't tell you, as he's not here.
I still have mine. I'm to deliver it 2 days after the Feast of St. Barnabas.
It's a matter of importance to the Duchy. Hand it over, or I'll take it from you, plain and simple.
But I was to deliver it personally. Let no one else see it. That is what she said, and she was frightening.
You ought to heed folk who are kind and honest. These men helped me a short while ago, helped all of us. If this individual threatened you, you need not keep the promise you made.
All right, take it. I didn't want to see the boot black anyways. It's always muddy there.
Damn it.
What is it? Another name, truly?
See for yourself.
Well, well. I must say, even I did not expect this. This time you will see to our Duchessa. It seems we underestimated Sienna rather grossly.
Judging by this, Detloff was literally supposed to tear her heart out.
Yet first you must snap her neck. Puzzling.
Puzzle complete now?
Alas, the matter's ceased to be a tantalizing brain tease and has turned incredibly grave. We've proof of a plot to assassinate Toussaint's ruler. We've proof of a coup d'etat.
Duchess was to be Dettlaff's last victim. Sienna planned it from the start.
Indeed. The logical conclusion, Geralt.
4 seemingly random victims to start. The virtue's their only link. Enough to get folk talking about a righteous, vengeful beast. Obscured the victims' links to Sienna, even as she had those she despised killed off one by one, leaving the Duchess for last.
Had she managed to fulfill her plan, none would have questioned the reasons. Most would have thought Anna Henrietta had died for her sins. She was known to show a hard heart on many occasions. Ample proof of a lack of compassion.
Why would Sienna murder her own sister? Out of envy? To take power? From an inborn penchant for evil?
Yes, yes, and yes. All seem likely, and none are mutually exclusive. But if you'd like to know for certain, you could always ask her yourself.
Actually, love to learn her motives.
Praiseworthy, I suppose. Sometimes one should stare evil in the face.
Seems a bit strong, no?
She used my friend as her tool for killing. I believe I've every right to condemn her, but I support your lust for the truth. Some philosophers think empirical examination the sole path to knowledge. I believe you mentioned the Duchess keeps Sienna locked up.
Courtiers were insisting on a harsher punishment. Much harsher. Think Anna Henrietta had to protect her sister from a lynch mob as much as she wanted to protect her subjects from a criminal. One way or another, she's locked away in a secluded wing of the palace, awaiting trial before a court of law. I'd need to get past some guards to see her. Coming with?
Of course not. I shall await you at Mare la Chaise-Longue. I'll not risk entering the palace after Dettlaff and his minions rampage. Besides, I vastly prefer the company of a simple mug of mandrake brew to that of the Duchess's vile sister.
So, said straight up, it means you're going off to get drunk because you hate Sienna.
I've never been fond of categorical statements of that kind, but I admit I could not vouch for my behavior in her presence. She treated Dettlaff cruelly, caused his death in the end, and now this? Atop all that? No, Geralt. I will not go with you. I will await you at the cemetery.
Die of drink than of boredom.
Drinking's an art. Not just any slob can do it.
Whoa!
Wolfie, was it you who did the beast?
Stock send the whip await those running riot.
Which?
Our duchy values peace and quiet.
Oh, what was that? Ooh.
Need to see Sienna, urgently.
In the matter of?
Want to talk to her. It's important.
Want to talk? Go see your gran at tea time. Not one locked up on the Duchess's orders. No doing without special permission. Period.
Found some information important to her case. Need an explanation, urgently.
Ah, fine then. You're that witcher who solved the murders, no? Then you've my permission, but only for a few minutes.
Promise to be brief.
The Witcher will speak with the inmate. You can take a momentary break.
As long as it's truly but a moment. Highly irregular, this.
Hey, Sienna. Sorry to intrude, but I gotta ask you something.
I've nothing to say to you. You're the one who put me in here. Have you forgotten?
Sure, but you are here. So what's the harm in talking? Got something better to do?
What do you want? Be brief.
This cell. Downright cozy. Second time you've been incarcerated in altogether pleasant conditions. Always seem to land on your feet.
I wouldn't say that. I get no privacy here. But it is clean, because I cleaned it.
They do say cleaning can be relaxing.
It isn't. It's a horrible, thankless task. But I'm not one to leave anything undone. For instance, before I left Nazaire, I also tidied my room. Even made my bed. I knew I'd never return. But I despise leaving unfinished business. Messes. Loose ends.
Dogged determination. Guess that's admirable.
I was praised for it as a little girl. Only for that, in fact.
Went to a place where Beauclair's beggars congregate. Found proof that you'd planned your sister's demise. Anna Henrietta. She was Dettlaff's ultimate target from the start. Your target.
Bravo, Witcher. I congratulate you on your deductive reasoning skills. But what I'd planned has nothing to do with you.
Wrong. Has everything to do with me.
You were hired to kill the beast. Said beast is dead. So go collect your metal and leave me alone. Why must you meddle in everything?
Just like to know what's going on around me. Can't stand confusion, unexplained situations.
Have you come to ask me what drives me? What my motives are?
Actually came hoping to learn something. It's clear you were out for vengeance. Against those who drove you from the palace? Curse of the Black Sun. That was their reason, right?
It's certainly what they claimed. They said I was dangerous. A mutant. Knights, Crespi, Dulac, Delacroix, and Peyrac Peyran. They got the task of whisking me away, abandoning me outside the duchy's borders.
They were following orders.
So they were, though they did so eagerly. Especially when I tried to flee. Crespi beat me unconscious with a whip. The others stood by and watched. Peyran found ample opportunity to take his frustrations out on me, while Dulac and Delacroix insulted me, mocked me. I swore then I would never forget. I would find them all.
Explains a bit. A lot. You had a right to feel rage, resentment. But those motives aren't enough to justify the means you chose.
I didn't expect you to understand. I need no sympathy. Not from you. Not from anyone. I regret nothing. If I could turn back time, I'd not decide otherwise at any juncture. They all deserve to be punished. My sister most of all.
Enough. Your visit's done.
Ah, thank the stars.
Commander de la Tour would like to see you. Shall we go at once?
Let's go. Want to see him too. Damien.
Geralt, it's about time. Ready for the ceremony?
Your face doesn't look good. What the hell happened?
The city was attacked. Surely you don't imagine I could stand and watch it all from some ivory tower.
All right, we can start.
Very well. But you must behave. Less like a hired thug, and more like a man deserving of the Duchy's highest honor. In fact, you'd do best to maintain a dignified silence throughout. Let's begin the ceremony. Come with me. The Duchess awaits. In the Guild's name, I beg your assistance, your enlightened highness. Without barrels, production will come to a stop, and it will be the end of us.
You lost them all in the fire. These are horrible tidings. Oh, we are most dreadfully saddened.
Yes, your enlightened highness all. Once the beasts had clawed their way into the warehouse, the whole place went up in flames.
I shall dispatch a palace guardsman to examine the site of the blaze. If things are, as you say, fitting compensation shall be paid from the ducal treasury.
Thank you, your enlightened highness. Your Grace, Geralt of Rivia has arrived.
My dear subjects, we come now to our next point of business. Of all the duties which fall upon my shoulders, as the ruler of this dominion, this duty is dearest to my heart. For now, we shall award the Order of Vitis Vinifera, Tucson's highest honor.
Geralt of Rivia, Slayer of the Beast of Beauclair, step forth.
We bestow the distinction upon the Witcher, who saved Beauclair from the terrible beast. Such is our desire. May this symbol serve as a reminder to all that the Witcher shall forever remain a friend of Beauclair. In more familiar terms now, I thank you immensely, Geralt. Damien has your reward for you. After all, it was but a contract.
Thank you.
I have a small surprise for you, in addition. I give you more than a dozen barrels of Son Real, a wine normally reserved for the ducal table. The gustatory experience of a lifetime awaits. Are you content?
Feels like a second distinction. I'm honored. Thank you.
I trust you shall make good use of it. In a moment I shall speak to Siana. Will you assist me? You returned my sister to me, yet you also showed me her horrendous deeds. As head of state, I must judge her fairly, but she is my sister. Thus my heart bleeds for her.
If my presence will help in any manner, of course I'll stay.
We shall now question a person implicated in the murders which recently ravaged our fair city of Beauclair. Captain de la Tour, show Sylvia Anna in.
The Witcher will take part in our talk.
I'm not a prisoner, free to do as I choose.
You have committed crimes. Grave crimes. Yet you are my sister, and my heart does not allow me to treat you as a common criminal. Thus I have asked Geralt to advise me, as one impartial. I shall now hear what he has to say.
Your Grace, as head of state, you should look first and foremost after your dominion. Siana's actions, what drove them, be damned. She's a threat to your subjects.
You are correct. They are what matters. I must not forget this. Siana, you shall be tried and given a fitting punishment. Yet we shall never cease to be family. As Duchess, I shall have to judge you. But as your sister, I shall never stop loving you. Will you forgive me?
I shall never forgive you.
Need some flowers, a wreath, or...
I've none. Sold everything. I was just on my way out. No sense hanging about with nothing to do. Should come as no shock, sir. Had the funeral, folk took it all. Men, women, children, all wished to lay a bouquet on the Duchess's grave. Windflowers, peonies, gladioli. But she liked common roses best. I know, her ladies-in-waiting would come here at times. I'd choose the loveliest blooms for her. Fragrant, big petals, the kind that last a long time. I've still not come to terms with it. To be killed by her own sister. How could it happen?
How? Quickly. Unexpectedly. She was gone before I understood what was happening.
Oh, I know you. You're that witcher from the north. The one that saved us from the beast.
Mm-hmm. Could say that.
Wait here. Take these.
Thought you were out of flowers.
I put a bouquet aside. I was to take it to her myself. But you have it. I know you held the Duchess dear.
How much do I owe you?
Not a copper. Keep your coin and raise a toast in her memory tonight.
Do just that. Farewell.
Greetings.
My turn to hide. You look now.
Good day.
Appearances deceive.
Spittoon! Hospital!
You with the exquisite hair.
Place we have, eh? Wine by the barrel, peace and quiet, lovely views.
To be honest, every last man Jacques in these parts has but wine and women on the brain.
Salutations.
Hey! Come on!
Excuse me.
Come here! I shan't fight you!
Was Piclepiota? Man's root for lust is the coin of all evil.
Lust.
Bury the murderous Lars in one crypt with the Duchess. It's not decent.
Matter or no, she was the Duchess's sister, shared her blood. She should lie with her king.
Ow! He's no hero. That's the
The
butcher of
Duchess
blood.
summoned him. Wonder what?
Witcher, I was certain you'd departed.
Couldn't. Anna Henrietta was...
Wondrous. Beautiful. Good. The best ruler one could hope to have. Yet I let her down.
Don't be so hard on yourself. No one expected Sienna to do that, persist to the end. And none of us did anything to stop her. 'Cause there was nothing we could do.
I suppose you are right. But when someone so beloved dies, one cannot help but search one's soul for blame. And even the hardiest knights grow faint-hearted then.
Come to pay my respects. Bid the Duchess farewell.
White roses. They were her favorite. Go inside, then. She lies in the ducal crypt. In one room with her murderer. Despite my protests.
What? Who decided that?
The Regent's Council. A pack of old men who've statutes and codices for hearts. Ducal blood flowed in Sienna's veins, and she was never legally disinherited. So they ruled she should lie alongside Anarietta.
this. What did it bring you? Rest in peace. I regret it ended this way, that I failed to prevent it. Hope you can forgive me. Rest in peace.
Stylish crypt, quite subdued. Yes, this is the kind of eternal resting place I dream of.
Moments like this, I never know if you're joking or serious.
Serious, Geralt, serious. It's remarkably peaceful, subtly charming to the hilt. A perfect match for the Duchess's dignity. Ah, you humans, you'll never cease to amaze me. To feel despair in the face of natural processes to which you are predestined. I've come to take you from this place, my friend. Dare say you deserve a speck of respite after the mad whirl of the last few days.
All those deaths I failed to prevent. Feel pretty awful right about now. Can't help thinking I could have done more. Now Toussaint's left without a ruler, or more accurately, chaos rules here. Hand in hand with despair. Duchess won over people's hearts. All Beauclair now weeps for her.
A mass outburst of emotion. Well, it seems her subjects have adopted some of their recent ruler's traits.
Why the sarcasm? Thought you liked Donna Henrietta.
I did. And I do truly rue her passing.
Me too.
Then let us drink.
Always seemed to me you were a very complicated creature by nature. Not one to resort to such simple methods like drinking your worries away.
There exist worries for which they're quite simply, it's no other medicine.
Whatever you say about Siona, you gotta admit, she was unbending.
That she was. I do admit it. Though, in her case, it would have been better if she had been a tad more, philosophical, pausing from time to time to reflect on the propriety of her actions.
True.
How do you find my personal brew? Not too strong?
Just right.
Credit the local mandrake of the Alrauna diabolus variety for that. The tubers which grow in this area's volcanic soil have an altogether unique flavour profile and display a remarkably uncommon dark brown tint.
Fascinating. All I can say is this batch turned out excellent.
Indeed. It might be wise to stockpile some roots for the future. Would you care to accompany me?
You decide to go root picking now? It's dark out.
Geralt, even were I generously to assume it had simply slipped your mind that I am a vampire and thus need no light to see, I'd never believe you had also forgotten that you likewise have absolutely no trouble seeing in the dark. So, shall we?
If you think it's a good idea, let's go. But I think you might be forgetting one thing. Fresh mandrake root of this variety is highly toxic, even to a witcher.
Ah, not a problem. I never forget matters of safety and hygiene in alchemy. Here, gloves and a mask. Don them, and you shall be in no danger.
Thanks. Right then, let's go.
This moonlight makes me, oh, so dreamy.
Penny for your thoughts. Let me guess. Succubus twins?
No, I was thinking about, how anything can look interesting when properly lit.
Even an old necrophage corpse?
You've not an ounce. Of refinement in you, have you? And if I were to add Jimson Reed in the last phase, could be an intriguing blend, that.
Now, where'd that bloodsucker go? Won't be easy to track down. He's a vampire, after all. Damn it, where'd you go? Regis! Damn it, where'd you go? Regis! Where'd you go? Those Bruxay, they called you a traitor.
Alas, we've a very simple code of honor, we vampires. So simple you might call it trivial. Either one is with us, unconditionally, regardless of the circumstances, or...
Won't let it go, will they?
They will not. Fortunately, we've another rule, an unwritten one, and just as trivial as the first. It is neatly summarized in the saying, out of sight, out of mind. That is why I must leave Toussaint. For a vastly long time, most like.
Yeah, I get it.
Let us make for my camp. I've an overwhelming desire to have another drink. Supreme bouquet. Firm, defined beginning. Then develops gently, rising to a startling finish. Don't you think?
Not much of a connoisseur.
Then it is high time you started your education. After all, the Corvo Bianco vineyard is now yours. By the way, I left a gift for you at your new home. On the nightstand.
Thanks. Mind telling me what it is?
A trifle. That will nonetheless be useful should you need mutagens. Incidentally, have you thought about what you'll do with your prize? Shall you hang your swords over the mantle and take to pruning vines?
Don't really know yet. Might find the life of a hard-working vintner too tempting one day. Or maybe I'll just stick to the path, go on roaming, staring up at the stars after laying my bedroll at the roadside.
Ah, roadsides, bedrolls, and the sky above. I sense some poetry coming on, which, of course, brings to mind Dandelion. I can remember a night, not too far from here if I'm not mistaken. We hid in a cave while a blizzard raged all about. Does that sound at all familiar?
How could it not? We just set off to rescue Ciri from Vilgefortz.
Oh, our encounter with Vilgefortz. That is something I do not remember so fondly. But that first stay in Beauclair, far calmer than this one.
Seemed like a land straight out of a fairy tale back then. Its sole problem, cellars too small to accommodate all that wine.
Appearances, Geralt. Appearances, like Mamoons and Dopplers, deceive. So what did become of Vilgefortz?
Killed him. Sure wasn't easy, though. What about you? Any idea where you'll go?
Distance is of the essence. I thought I might venture south.
Nilfgaard?
Why ever not? The Nilfgaardians are a modern society. None there believe in vampires anymore. This fact alone could be very useful to one wishing to remain incognito.
Interesting point of view. I so don't feel like going anywhere. Sit here a while longer?
So we shall, my friend. We have witnessed, and in fact on several occasions incited, many great and weighty events. After all that toil, I believe we deserve a bit of a rest.
That we do. Actually, I'd love to go home. Hey-ya!
Every single lady keeps a devil somewhere shady. You shan't find anything that I need good victuals. Then rumble, my rumble. Where are you going?
Slow now. Whoa.
Hey!
Hey, watch it! Sandpills attacked the city. Is that true?
Strange. Something behind this wall, I think. Laboratory. Must have been an alchemist at one time.
Our knights errant? They're so heroic. We had to summon a witcher to do their work.
Master Witcher, some unknown individual barged into the residence. I resisted as best I could, but to no avail.
Who is it?
Alas, they did not do me the basic courtesy of introducing themselves.
You look good. Come. Don't just stand there. I want a hug.
never see you again.
Well, I've departed, escaped, been forced to flee so many times. Yet, I always returned. You ought to be used to it by now. I like coming back into your life.
I'm just glad you're here.
The house is lovely. It just needs some work.
Yeah, plan to do a lot. Want to go outside, maybe? Could show you the grounds.
Ah, it's lovely here. I could stay forever.
Anything stopping you?
Obligations, duties. I'm only here because Emir concluded I must get to know what I'll rule once I take the throne. So I'm on a tour of the provinces with a small swarm of advisors. Which essentially means they take turns lecturing me while I follow them about, scribbling notes.
Plan to stay in Beauclair a while?
A bit. I convinced my advisors we'd be unwise to depart before I tasted each of this year's wines. My knowledge would be incomplete, you see. Though, actually, just between you and me, I'm not certain I'm cut out to rule, govern, all that.
Thinking you might give it up?
I can't say just yet, but I'm not willing to rule it out.
How fares your venerable father?
He seems younger, quite rejuvenated. Abandoning high-level politics seems to have done it. It's as if the very awareness of peace grants him strength, which most likely is the case.
Think he'll keep his word?
I think that depends on me. If he feels I'm up to the task, he'll head out to pasture. Yes.
And if he doesn't?
Then there'll be nothing to stop him from returning. He hasn't ever had a problem changing his mind.
Preparations for the coronation coming along?
Not at all. I told him I'm in no hurry. I must see what the whole thing's about first. Acquaint myself with the Empire's institutions, laws, and so forth.
No pressure from Emir to speed things along?
He tried. But I told him I wish to be a good ruler, a strong ruler, not some puppet.
No one else in the world he'd give in to like that.
I had nothing to do with that. There's just no one else in the world who's his daughter. Speaking of which, as the future Empress, I could secure you a comfortable position as court witcher.
Thanks, but just not my thing, that. My place is on the path.
I know. Still, had to try.
See you later, Ciri.
Take care of yourself.